Good morning. I'm Tim, and it's Sunday, March 29th at about 11:15 in the morning, and these are my thoughts, my ramblings, maybe a little bit of wisdom, and this is my story. I'd like to think I had sent out a prayer request, but it scared me away. I come in there. I sent out a prayer request a couple weeks ago. My daughter had gone into labor early, 6 weeks as a matter of fact, and Wyatt was born a week ago yesterday. He's home from the hospital, doing great, and for a baby that's 6 weeks early, he really looks good and really looks strong, and all the tests come back good. So thank everyone for that, for all the prayers and energies that you sent. I've been doing a lot of meditation and energy work on myself. I think I'm doing better. I'm not sure. I'm doing better with the oxygen as long as I keep moving around, which keeps myself breathing. When I settle down, that's when I run into problems. And been doing a lot of going inside and looking at where I'm at and things going on and different thoughts that I have, and one that popped in, and it seems like when this comes in, it might refer to me, it might refer to somebody, but it's just something that I was given a long time ago, a lot of years ago. I was working with somebody, and he was telling me, he says, I see this very long hallway, and there's a doorway at the end, and I see you walking with your angel, guardian angel, and you open the door, and this room is vast, and there's computers and telephones and angels all over, just really working. It really looks like a high power office. And he closes the door and he says, this is where we receive all our prayer requests. And we go down the hallway, and there's another doorway, and he opens that and look inside, and it's just as busy, if not more, things going on like crazy. And he closes the door and looks at me and says, this is where we answer the prayer request we get. And he goes down the hallway just a short distance, and he goes to open the door, and as he does, it hits the desk, and you can barely get into the room. And I stick my head through and I look around, and there's a chair and a desk, a pad and a paper, a pencil, telephone, but nobody's in there. And he looks at me and says, this is where we receive our thank yous. So we ask for a lot, but how many times do we stop and say thank you? It'd be a good habit that whenever I think of it and it pops into my head, I thank them for everything that they have done that I've noticed, and especially I thank them for the things that they've done that I haven't noticed. And sometimes it's a good thing to thank them for things that they haven't given you that you've requested, because we'll get there when it's appropriate, when it's the right time. Okay, I'm getting off on a deep end again. With the meditations and things, I've been asking for something to do because I'm really bored. And they showed me at the hospital where Wyatt was at when I was doing a meditation, where my grandson was born. He's number, I think, 7. I'm pretty sure it's 7. I think there's 2 boys and, well, let's see, 2, 3, yeah, okay, so 2 boys and 5 girls. I had to count. I lose track every once in a while. I was visualizing the hospital where my grandson was born, and I just saw this tower of white light coming out of it or going down into it, and thinking all the love and prayers and energy that were going there, because that's where my grandson and my daughter were, and all the prayers and the energy were being sent to them. And why couldn't we ask for that to just engulf the whole hospital? Well, this morning when I asked them again, and I kicked back to do a meditation, and it's not happening. They sent me in here, so here I am on the computer again. And when you're watching the news, we need to change things, and it's up to us to do it. And it's not really that hard. Mostly it's a shifting in the way we look at things and think about things. Because when you see something on the news or something that upsets you, you can feel yourself getting uptight, and then you get pissed off, and energy just totally collapses. Well, consciously, when you see something, consciously send love and light around it. Just in your mind's eye, just see a big bubble of white loving energy going around whatever the situation is. Because the light and the love are so much stronger than the darkness or anything else. And if there's any kind of a crack in there, the energy can get in. Just like we started doing that with Washington, D.C. Every time we hear what the president did, or one of the congressmen, or one of the senators, or how they screwed us again and told us it was for our benefit, instead of getting angry and upset, start picturing them with light and love, because the darkness cannot keep going. And if we start surrounding it with light and love, and there's any kind of a crack, the light's going to flood in. And if they don't, they can't keep going in the same environment. That's why so much is coming up and slapping us in the face when you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I used to really get ticked off. Sometimes I chase them down, and deals what you do when you catch them. Can't hit them, can't do anything. So I stopped chasing them down, and then finally I just stopped worrying about it. I figured they needed that spot a lot more than I did, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have done what they did. But if truth be known, I know myself, I must have cut people off so many times and never been aware of it. So when things happen that bother you and you really just kind of ruffles your feathers, try to look at it differently. And remember, we can shift the whole world just by surrounding things with love. And yeah, it's kind of like, well, what am I going to do? Just one person. But at the same time you're doing it, maybe somebody else is doing it. And if two of you are doing it at the same time and it's focused, then the energy really amps up. It's kind of like putting the energy in a pyramid. The energy amps up when it goes into a pyramid. I don't know whether it'd work or not, but visualize yourself inside of a pyramid and start working with the energy, or see yourself saying prayers, or working with the energy and sending it to people. Try visualizing yourself inside and sending that out. Those who are open to it will receive some. Those who aren't, but they've got that little crack, the energy will come in, because they didn't come here to be like that. We've come from a loving situation to Schoolhouse Earth. They come in to help create scenarios or situations to help us grow. And unfortunately, they fell into the material world. They fell into the ego. They're looking at things of what are they going to get out of it, rather than how is this going to help others. But in order to be where they're at, they had to be a very high spiritual being. So if we can get the light into them, do you realize how much of a change they could make? How much of a change we can make? I've heard quite a few times, I can't change the world. The only thing I can change is things within myself. And maybe others will see and cause them to change things within themselves. But together, if we wrap the light all around the planet, the love, we can help everyone awaken. Well, I guess I'm done with my rambling. Hopefully this will make my guides happy, or my cohorts on the other side, or whoever it is that told me I had to do this. This will satisfy them. I'll turn it off and listen to it and see if it satisfies me, because after all, I'm the one who counts. I want to thank everyone for all the prayers and the energy that I have been receiving. October 1st, I think, is when I went on hospice. Last month in February, I think that was about my lowest point. And I started talking to my guides, my angels, the healers on the other side, whatever, and told them, if you want me to come home, that's fine, let's get it done, but if you got something for me to do, let's get that going too also. So I'm still hanging around. I have good days and bad days. I've been using the walker a little bit, and we'll see how things go. But in the meantime, remember, in the end, only kindness matters. Open your heart to love. Release things that no longer serve you for your highest and greatest good. See the world that you want to live in, and know that that's where we're going, to the world filled with love that we are creating. We've already made it there. We're just dragging our feet before we shake off the rest. I'm not sure if we don't believe we're really worthy, or we're a little bit fearful of who we truly are. Because as Daniel Brinkley says, we are powerful. Oh damn, I'm going to screw it up for sure. This is, okay. We're powerful spiritual beings. Daniel puts it a lot better. I almost had it, but it left me. But know that there is no hell. This is Schoolhouse Earth. We came here to learn lessons and to help one another. And all the time that you're learning, you're also teaching. So be aware of the lessons you teach. Teach from the heart. And know that it's getting better. We're moving more and more towards the light, towards the love. So, well, good night. Thank you.